one is FOMO, number 2 is diversity, and number 3 is chocolate cake. So stay with me, it won't be long, and we'll have some fun. So the first thing that I wanted to say is that I'm just so honored to be speaking to you guys. Shanice is a friend that I met randomly at a planner meetup, didn't know her from anywhere, and we just over the few years developed a great friendship, so which led to this. And secondly, I'm so excited to speak to you guys because this community has given me so much love, so much support, so much confidence, and I'm just so grateful to just be here and to be amongst amazing people. So when I joined the planner community in 2016, I was at my second day of work in Atlanta, and I had just moved from Texas. I didn't know anybody, and I went to a store and I met a planner, and she said, "Are you a planner or are you a planner?" And I was like, she sees me? And I was like, "I'm a planner." And she was like, "Cool, we have this meetup at IKEA, you should come." Y'all, this meetup had food drawers. I didn't even know that was a thing. And Shan was actually there handing out freebies for the honeybee shop that she was thinking to start. It was amazing, literally. It was literally the catalyst to such a wonderful relationship. And just the act of being welcomed and being seen was something that I didn't know I needed so much. When you move away from home, you really don't realize how much you're leaving your foundation. And so this community, even though it wasn't a foundation, it was new, it was welcoming, which I didn't have because I was starting a new role in finance. And if anybody works in finance, it's there's so many different parts of it. So I was in a new role and just battling imposter syndrome. So it just let me know that I have, I got my people with me. They're here. I'm not by myself. And so then I realized that being in the planner community, there's so many different roles, and there's so many different people. There's lawyers, there's teachers, there's doctors, there's people from all over, and they all do different things. So that's why I feel like Shanice picked me out of her super cool friends, because she knows the genuine love that I have for the community. And so let's get right into the topic, which is FOMO. So fear of missing out is something that I wanted to talk about because over the years I've built relationships, and not everybody stays in the community. Some people come for whatever reason or season and they leave, but sometimes they leave because of the fear of missing out. There's so many sales and events, and they just feel overwhelmed. So they're let me just not, But I feel y'all, we're already hoarders. We don't have to, oh my God. We don't have to have the fear of missing out in our community. We can release that. And I have a few tips to share, and then I'll tell you guys what I do to curb my fear of missing out. But I just feel because we are forward-thinking, positive community, we can let that go. Because we keep the good shit. We know that we only keep the good. We keep the stuff that we love, that feels good for us. So hoarding, call me a hoarder. That's fine, I'm not tripping on that. But FOMO is something that I would love to let go of in our community. So how I do it personally is I shop January and October. And I know, that's how do you do that? But basically, I shop in January because, it's planner season. It's the best time to shop. All the shops are loving on us, giving us sales, so it's the good time for a consumer. And then I also shop in October. And I shop in October because I love Halloween. It's my favorite. I cannot live without Halloween. It makes me so happy. And my birthday's in November, so it's just yes, I'll buy that. Okay, I'll buy that too. So it's a good time. But in between that time, I am living my life, but I'm not sad. And so I wanted to just give tips so that maybe we can release that. You guys can share that with anybody that you know, so that way we can grow our community and release that. So the first tip that I have is to, what is my first tip, y'all? Just kidding. Okay. So the first tip that I have is to make a plan. So I know that sounds make a plan, great, but look at the shop's website, look at their shipping times, Look at when they post, look at their PR team, look at their YouTube, and literally write that stuff down and write out a wish list of what you want. Write out how much you can spend and what you are going to spend. So like make a budget of this is what I want to spend, and then make a budget of what I'm going to get with this amount of money. And then when you do that, like at the beginning of the year or whatever works for you, I feel like you won't have that fear of missing out because you know what shop is releasing. You know when this next event is because you've looked at the year, you've looked at what's out, and you know. So the second thing that I would say is to manage your mental. And when I say managing your mental, I'm just saying that when you know that you've made a plan of action, then you can focus on what's ahead of you. Focus on the good. Focus, and so you're not focused on what you don't have, you're focused on what you do have and what you know that's coming to you. And that is a more positive, forward-thinking thing, and I feel like highlighting that in the community would release that. And then the last thing is putting yourself first. So when you are planning like daily, monthly, weekly, and you put yourself first, you know what you're gonna get, you know what you feel like you need, like in your planner to support you. If you are usually a habit tracker, but you're mentally crazy, you can go look at a journaling page because you know that you need that. And so maybe you can buy a new journal, but you know what you need for you to help you out. So I feel like just doing those 3 things could release FOMO forever, which is what I would love because I just don't, it's hard for you to talk someone out of the fear of missing out when they're already so deep into that anxiety or thought process, but we can catch it before it starts so that we don't breathe that type of energy in our positive, perfect community. Just kidding. But in our community, I think it would be like so great, and then we would just be happier, and that's what we're here for. So that is my first topic, is to get rid of FOMO. And then the second thing I wanted to say is that I love the community because of all of the diversity in it. I feel like when I was growing up, I was shamed for being the kid that cared about my pens more than my new shoes, or my tracker keeper more than my new coat. But that's what I loved, and all my friends made fun of me, so I got tough skinned for saying I don't care. But now in this community, I can say I love this, and y'all can say me too. And I can say I don't want to do that, and then y'all will say you don't have to. Because when you have a community that is diverse, that understands that one doesn't fit all, and maybe you like A5, but you only like gray paper, and that's okay because lined paper is just paper. So I just think that in this community and in the world, there's so much going on, and so with this community being such, for me, like a good place to come and to cultivate relationships, that knowing that the diversity is here, it limits the fear that you have from not being able to be expressive in your diversity outside in the world. And when I joined this community, like I said, I didn't know anyone in 2016 in the city of Atlanta, and it was okay that I was introverted but extroverted. And that has always been something that I struggled with. So I just feel like this is a place where everything is, it's okay, and there's a fix for that. Like there's a hack for that. We have a hack for everything, and I feel like this community is like our hack in life. Like we can come and be our biggest, brightest selves without having to dim our own light, and that is a blessing.
Amen, sis.
Amen. So promoting, highlighting, and just celebrating the diversity in this community is something that I love, and I just wanted to tell all of you beautiful people to continue to be your beautiful selves, no matter if it matches whatever aesthetic, because you are your own aesthetic. Like when I was at the table today looking at different planners, I was blown away because they all look different. They all look different, they're all put up differently, but they support that person. They support their livelihood, they support their families, and that is something that is not talked about enough, which is supporting your livelihood. Like the community is not just about getting things, it's about being happy that we have the things. to support everything around us, to be the catalyst. Like, we are the catalyst for everything. When you wake up in the morning, you're the only person that can put your shoes on, then put your pants on, brush your teeth. Nobody can do that for you. So when you have a tool, a system, or even a whole community to support you, no matter what you're going through or where you came from, that is unmatched, you guys. So I just wanted to say that. And the last thing is chocolate cake. So I just wanted to remind everyone, because I feel like sometimes in the community, you know, behind the keyboards, it's kind of like, yeah, this is my planner, but so what? You know, like, my planner's cute, and so what? But it's not like, you guys, just look at my planner, you know, like, I just want to share my planner. And so I want to talk about chocolate cake because there's this movie that you may or may not have seen. You know, it's from the 1900s. That's what my daughter said to me. But it's from the 1900s. It's called Matilda. And at the end, well, maybe not at the end, but there's a kid in there named Bruce. And Bruce is not everybody's cup of tea. Like, you might not even really like Bruce. But he ate Miss Trunchbull's chocolate cake, y'all. Miss Trunchbull said, oh, I got something for you. You have to eat this whole chocolate cake. And Bruce was like, I like chocolate cake, you know, but I don't want to eat the whole cake, but I'll try. And when Bruce was biting the cake, he was biting from this side of the cake. He was like, I got it. And everybody was like, dang, like, this is like a lot of work, Bruce. Like, I don't even know if you got it. And they were in agony and really saying, like, he's probably about to fall out. And as a community, when you're making plans, especially when you're doing something that you never thought you would be doing, like speaking at GALENTINES 2023, when you do that, then nobody knows what's going on in the background. Nobody knows what you have to fight to be here and stand up and be the catalyst and be the spark for yourself. But you have to do that. But because I have been given the privilege to be a part of this amazing community, like Bruce, I have people to support me. And because when Bruce couldn't eat that cake, he was trying from the right side and the left side. And we thought he was going to plummet into that cake. And Matilda stood up and said, you can do it, Bruce. And then someone else stood up and said, you can do it, Bruce. And they don't even like Bruce, though. That's the thing. But it's not about being liked. It's really not about that. It's about looking at your goal, no matter how big and delicious it is, and going for it. You guys, never stopping, no matter what it is, no matter if it makes sense to anybody, and just doing it. Because it's put in front of you, and you can do it. And when you feel like you can't, this community will stand up for you, they will clap for you, and they will say, eat that chocolate cake! And then you're gonna finish it, and you're gonna be happy, put your hands up, and everybody's gonna clap. And that is the beauty of community. So I just wanted to share those things, remind you guys that we are one of a kind. We are not like any other community because we support each other's goals. And supporting someone's goals, you don't have to know them to say you can do it. But when they do it and they change their life because they did it, that is something that no one can put a price tag on. So I just want to say, never forget that when you're liking posts, when you're supporting these shops, when you're being a friend, just never forget that this is just a community that we made up and we make it good so we can keep doing that. And that's it.